Okay, so here is a scenario. So what you have to do, so you have to create a something like a global. Okay, global is a sheet name. So you have to copy. See, please listen carefully here. You have to copy the mobiles here and laptops. Append this one laptops. Okay, here is a mobile and here is a laptops, right? Copy paste, and this is a laptop. What is the product type? Go to the computers, copy these two, global, paste here, update the product type like computer or PC. Okay, so this is a product type. This is a scenario. Do you all understand? So the robot has to do this kind of work. So you don't know how many number of these things are there. Okay, the laptop. So tomorrow another thing will add. Okay, smartwatch like that. Understand? Do you understand the requirement? First of all, we need to understand the requirement. What the robot has to do. First of all, we need. Okay, then we will think how to do. So the robot, see, here is the steps. The robot has to only check where the check the sheets where the sheet having the number or hyphen, and also not only here, not only the product. So the product code, What is the code for the mobile? 0 to let's make this as a 4 to. Okay, what is the code? Code is like a 4 to 3, 4 to 3, 4 to 3. What is the code for the laptop? Type in the chat window. What is the code for laptop? Okay, perfect. 978. 978. Then computer. What is the code for computer? 347. Yeah, perfect. 347. Okay. So this is the output. So this is the output we need. We need to consolidate all the records in the global. Global. Okay. So while we are doing this exercise, we will learn a new concepts and new activities. Okay. Note it down and keep it. Okay. Keep it in your mind. So we have to. These two are not there. Okay? These two columns are not there. It has to come on the fly. And this. So this is like yes. It has to happen. Let me remove entire things. Okay, remove entire things. And these two, let keep it as this. Okay. Now, if you read, so let us take the otherwise let's take the fresh what repair global sheet. Okay, now here Excel application scope, everything we will do in Excel because we are just interacting with the same Excel file, right? So that's why we need the single Excel application scope. Okay, now suppose for example, first thing is we have to identify the sheet names which contains hyphen. Understand? So we don't need this CTM, we don't need this PT, PPT, BBC, right? We need only the sheet name. How can we get the sheet names? How can we get workbook sheet names, workbook names? Is there any specific activities there to get all the sheet names? Get workbook sheets. Okay. Get workbook sheets. Just now we saw workbook sheets. So what is the output of this one? So the output of this one is like the list of all all sheets. Okay, all sheets. Now this one, so how can we loop each and every string from this particular list? Which activity we have to use to loop each and every item from the collection? So list of strings is a collection for each. For each, okay. Just drag the for each activity here inside. And what is the type here? What is the type argument? What is the type argument? In the properties. In these properties, the type argument is there. Right? Which one is the which one we have to change? We have to change to the string. Why we need to change to the string? The all sheets is a collection of strings, list of strings. If it is a list of integers, we have to move to the int. Now this will loop each and every sheet. Now it will loop each and every sheet names. See, first sheet name, second sheet name, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, right? So it will loop each and every sheet name. Now we have a if condition, just drag and drop the if condition, and we want to check whether this contains this. Anyway, these sheet names are the strings only. Okay. This, do you remember? Do you remember like a string methods? How can we check whether the particular hyphen is existed in the this sheet name or not? Which method we have to use? Contents, right? Which method? Do you remember? Let's use a sheet dot contents. Contents. What is that? Hyphen. Just drag and drop. Now click run. So it will loop each and every file and check. So if the that contains hyphen only. Okay. Now we got the mobile. See, next, what is the after mobile? Global. After that, sheet one. These things are not came, right? Because that sheet name does not contain hyphen. We will get only three sheets, because the only three sheets having the hyphen. Up to this, it is clear. Is it clear? Up to this, just type yes or no. Okay. We just get all the sheet names and loop each and every sheet name. And what we done? We just use the filter if condition. If this contains a hyphen, then we're just taking only these records. Okay, if condition, inside the if condition. Okay, we have to do all the work here only. The if condition inside the then block. So what is the next step? The next step is like, okay, so we need the two values. Okay, two values. Okay, the two values from the string. You have to tell. So how can we get the first one, the product code, and the next one? Which activity which string method we have to use? The first one is a product code. The next one is a product name. Just type in the chat window which activity we have to use. Meanwhile, I'm creating some small variables. Product code and product name. Which activity we have to use? Which methods? In the strings. So we learn the strings, right? Which methods we have to use? Just using the assign operators. Two assign operators. The one is like a product code. The another one is the product name. Yeah, we can use a substring. The perfect. We can use a substring. Suppose product code we need. So what is the product code? How can we retrieve the product code? A sheet. See, sheet dot. Let me copy this one. Okay, so how can we get sheet dot substring of 0 comma sheet dot index of hyphen. This index of hyphen will give the, where is this index? This index, okay. And let me do -1, okay. -1. Let us do the product name using the sheet one. Sheet dot substring. So see here, sheet, it is a starting index is enough. Index of hyphen. Let us see. So let's display these two things, okay. Sheet plus code is product code plus name is product name, okay. We'll see so whether it is extracted properly or not, okay. The code is, see, code is coming. I think so. It is a one thing is missing. 3 is missing, and that is the one thing we have to figure out. And name is, after name is, hyphen is coming. Okay. Now what we have to do? Let's close, and here the code is. Just don't give the -1. Let it be. And here in the name we have to give the +1 here. Okay, +1. Okay, now try to run. +1 in the sense it has to ignore the hyphen. Now see, the code is 423 and the name is mobile. Perfect. The next one is code is 987 and the name is laptop. Now we are getting the code and names, product names and code into the separate variables. Got it? Up to this, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, so is it clear? Up to this, we filtered and got the product code and product name. Okay. And now what we have to do? So we have to read the range. We have to read the range. Let us read the range. Use the read range activity. Yeah, use the Excel activity instead of sheet hard code. Use the sheet variable. Okay, sheet variable, and you don't need any. So you can just mention double quotes. That's also represents empty. Now sheet variable, sheet data table, some data table. Okay, so this data table having the each and every sheet data, each and every sheet data. Now you have how many rows? How many rows are there in this data table? What is the data table name? Sheet DT. How many rows are there? How many? So how many columns? Not how many rows. Columns. But how many columns we are expecting in output? How many columns we are expecting in output? Output global. No, it is a 4, right? So we need the check the global. Okay, we need these two also. Okay. Our output global sheet should have a 4. Now this read range output having the only 2 columns. You have to add the column, add data column. Just type add data column. So it is a add the new column. Okay, new column. So you have to specify what is the column type, that is a string, and specify the what is the column name and column. Suppose column name is like a product type. So once you add this column, it will add by default at the end. What is the data table? The data table is the output of this one. Copy and paste. So three properties we give. So one is a data table variable, and what is a column name, and what type of column it is, string or integer or data table date or something. Okay. Now, okay, up to this is fine, but here there is a default value is there. Okay, default value. You can give this what is this? This is a product code, right? Product type. The product type is like a product name. Just copy this variable and give the default value, product name. This variable. The variable has a what is that type? So here variable, if it is a sheet, mobile sheet, the variable type has a the product name is having the mobile. If it's a laptop, it is having the laptop. And now do the same thing. So here is adding the. If you want to add some annotations, just understanding. Add product type column at the end. Okay, so do the same thing. Column, drag the another column, and this is annotations adding that. Add product code column at the end of all columns. This is just for understanding. Okay, nothing else. Now, so what the things? So the data table name, three things: data table name, which data table you are adding, and which name, which is a column name you are adding, is adding the column name in the double quotes, and what type of data you are going to present in this here. What happened? The default value, I'm just giving the code. You can specify the default value. It's not mandatory. Okay, not mandatory in the sense. Right now, our requirement having the, we have to add the product code and product name. That's why we are adding the default values. It's not mandatory, so directly you can add the normal values. Okay, now we have a full-fledged data. So this whole thing is coming from the actual source sheet, the mobile, and these two are added with the default values, and we have a prepared exactly the same sheet, right? So the data table is available. So append range, not write range. Append range activity. Just drag and drop append range. What is the sheet name? What is the sheet name here? What is the destination sheet name? Type in the chat window. The sources are this one, right? This is a source. This is a source. This is a source. What is the destination sheet names? Where we have to append? Global. Perfect. Okay. Global is a destination sheet name for all. Use the global and use a sheet name. Okay, that's what is the sheet name? Sheet data tool. Now it will append into that particular thing. Let's hit run. See, check here. What happened? Mobile is added. Understand? Mobile is added. And click OK. Laptop is added. Click OK. Understand? Yeah, it's done. Okay, this is added. Mobile. So laptop is added. This is coming from the laptops and mobile. This is added. Okay. Do you understand? This is how we can do this kind of work. Let's suppose, for example, okay, for example, let us remove this one. Okay, we don't have a global sheet. If you just run this one same thing without any modifications, what will happen? It will create a global by default, and what will happen is adding the data, but there is no headers. Do you understand? There is no headers. Now, what we have to do, we have to check so whether this Excel is already existed. Then this sheet is already existed. Then we have to use the append range. Otherwise, we have to use the read range. Use the if condition. Sorry, write range. Okay, use if condition. So all sheets dot contains. So all sheets is it will give the all sheets global. Okay, so if the all sheets contains the global, then drag this up. Okay, otherwise else condition. Otherwise, click on the else. Otherwise, you have to use the write range. Drag and drop the write range, and here is a uh, same thing, but here is a you have a adding the headers is there in the properties. Add headers. Okay, this add headers. So if you don't have the sheet name, and also now I'm just adding the one more sheet like a 862 hyphen what is the electronics things TV. Okay, the TV is like a name, price. Name is like a MI TV and Samsung, Sony. Okay, so something like a different type. Okay, so let's save. Now try to run our bot. It's a dynamic, so it won't work for only the four things. It will work for the any number of things. I'm just using the message box just for let us go and check. So yeah, there is a small mistake. Okay, what will happen? A small mistake. We're just taking the list before this list always having the see this list always having the always does not have a global. That's why. Okay, so what we can do simply let us take a get workbook sheets here. So this is like a current sheets with current sheets does not have a global. Let's delete this one. See this is added. So it has a headers. What will happen? First, it will check whether that sheet is there or not. So if the sheet is there, see here. This contains the sheet is there. So if the sheet is not there, we go and write the write range. Write range will write the data. Append range will go to the end of the line and append. Okay, see, TVs also came, laptop came, computer came. You understand?